up in Northern California. A cop saw a car make an illegal U-turn. They thought it might be a drunk driver, but when they pulled it over, who was in the driver's seat? No one, because this was one of Waymo's autonomous cars. So how does the San Bruno Police Department write a ticket? Who does that ticket go to? Well, in a statement to NBC News, Waymo said its driving system, the Waymo driver, is designed to respect the rules of the road, and they're looking into this situation and are committed to improving road safety through our ongoing learnings and experience. Now, with Waymos and other autonomous cars popping up all across the country, it got our team thinking, so what happens when a driverless car is not following the rules of the road? Here to break this down with us is AAA's Director of Traffic Safety Advocacy, Jake Nelson. Jake, good to see you. So, I mean, from a very practical perspective here, that officer, he goes up, like the ticket's got to go somewhere. I imagine somebody on the Waymo side, there's a voice, probably like a human on a phone somewhere, but who gets the ticket? Who gets the points off of their license? Like, what happens here?
Yeah, well, great question. And drum roll, usually the answer is nobody gets that ticket. And if you think about it, the reason why people like you and I will get a ticket if we've broken a traffic rule or law is to deter us from making that same mistake again. It's to encourage us to make better choices behind the wheel. And obviously, for a self-driving vehicle, a ticket isn't going to accomplish that goal. And so what is going to benefit the makers of these fully self-driving vehicles the most, and that is as much information about these kinds of incidents as possible. So most states who allow the operation of robo-taxis have a mechanism for reporting of these kinds of incidents so that the automakers can make improvements in the way the technology works and keep us all safe.
I mean, this all makes me think of, you know, this anecdotal story about Teslas and them rolling through stop signs and the state of California basically saying, we want to see the code. And they were told, well, like, it's AI. It's a neural net. It's a model that is learning, and there's not really a line of code. And that was years ago, right? I know here in California, Governor Gavin Newsom recently signed legislation to hold autonomous car companies responsible. But if all of a sudden, like, a lot of these cars are operating autonomously with a black box of how they make those decisions attached, like, how do you legislate something like that?
Yeah, well, you raise a good point. And the reality is that laws are racing to catch up with technology. And I think we're going to see that as we march into the future. Even the federal government is sort of on deck waiting to issue some regulations over the autonomous vehicle industry nationwide relative to how they're tested and deployed. And we're still waiting for those final rules to be issued. But states are really looking at building, again, those mechanisms for collection of data around these incidents so that OEMs can build these vehicles more safely. And in the end, in the long run, if repeated incidents of the same type continue to persist, I wouldn't be surprised if there would be penalties of some kind in the future.
Yeah, penalties like us humans have to pay, that definitely hurt when we have to pay them. Meanwhile, real fast, if you could just give us a quick piece of advice. If you get hit by one of these or you have an incident with a self-driving car, like, what should you do?
Well, keep in mind that robo-taxis are programmed to pull over to a safe spot and to put on their flashers, their hazards. And if the crash is